Hello students, in this lesson you will be learning more about supporting details. How do we give supporting details that are more specific? We will be going through a series of steps that guide you in writing effective supporting details. Step 1. Please watch the following YouTube video about supporting sentences. You may find the link in the PowerPoint presentation. After watching this video in the link here, you should have a good idea about what a supporting detail is. Pause this video now and please watch this video in the link. When done, come back here. Step 2. What are supporting details? Therefore, supporting details are facts, statements, and examples or specifics that guide us to a full understanding. We as readers fully understand the main idea in the paragraph by reading the supporting details. They clarify, make clearer, illuminate, explain, describe, expand, and illustrate the main idea. The word expand will be repeated several times. By expanding, we mean giving more details about the main idea. So in general, in a well-written paragraph, supporting details are all the sentences that follow the topic sentence. Therefore, they should help the writer further the storyline, help the reader understand the main idea, and answer questions raised by the main idea, questions such as who, what, when, why, or how. Step 3. Let's look at this paragraph as an example. Please note the comments that will follow. You may pause the video here and read the paragraph alone, then come back and listen to the comments. As you notice, the topic here is about the hazards of noise, that is, the negative effects of noise. And the paragraph's controlling idea is about the many ways in which we can reduce noise pollution to make noise pollution less. What are these ways? We can find them here. This is the first way, the second way, and the third way. Using these transitions, we introduced the 3 supporting details. The first one is about buying noisy products that have reduced noise levels. The second one is about using sound-absorbing materials at home. And the third one is about being less noisy themselves. Notice that these sentences in blue are examples, or as called in the video you watched, minor supporting details. What they do is that they expand on the supporting sentences they follow. Let's look here. The second supporting detail was about sound-absorbing materials at home. For example, they gave us examples such as carpeting and hard flooring, cork, and fabric in rooms. Here, the third detail was less noisy, being less noisy, and the second sentence to explain gives us examples of how to be less noisy by avoiding shouting, closing doors, and using devices such as radio, TV, stereos at moderate levels. Now we have a paragraph that is complete and has details that explain and answer questions about the topic sentence. Step 4. How do we write good supporting details that are specific? First, we need to be aware that there are different types of supporting details. What are these types? Number 1, comparisons. They are sentences that compare two similar things. Example, skilled college students are like the skilled students in their desire for a diploma. This is a sentence that compares two similar situations or people. Contrasts. Two things that are different are put together in one sentence. Skilled students are different from unskilled students in that they use a method to read a textbook. 3. Statistics. 75% of the students, we're still on the same topic, who do not attend class regularly receive grades of C or worse. I have a piece of statistics here. 4. Graphs when possible. but you will not be writing graphs yourselves in paragraphs. 5. Quotations from authorities. What we mean by authorities are people who are knowledgeable, people who know about the field or the topic they are talking about, experts. Example, Professor Smithy, he's a professor, therefore he's an authority, admits, I tell students they don't need to attend my class if they don't want to. I know, however, that if they don't come, they won't pass, so attendance is important. Here we have a quotation using quotation marks. Notice how the quotation marks begin here and here after the full stop. This is a quotation to support the main idea related to attending classes. 6. Reasons or facts. 7. Vivid descriptions. This may also include figurative language. We will talk more about this. Therefore, these are the 7 types of supporting details. You would be using comparison, contrast, statistics, when possible quotations, reasons or facts. You can always use these, they are the most used ones, and vivid descriptions. Example, the student took the exam from the professor's hand, quickly looked at the grade, gave a sigh of relief, and began to smile. You can see here that we have several details. Quickly looked, gave a sigh, began to smile. We have descriptions that help us imagine the situation. A kind of an image is being illustrated here. Step 6. How can we be more descriptive? One way is to use a variety of different vocabulary. How do we do this? We have several ways. First, you can use more adjectives in your paragraphs. The government's decision were drastic. Drastic means instead of using bad or negative, you can use drastic. That means having negative results. Adverbs. He impatiently left the room versus he left the room. I could say he left the room, but that would not engage the reader. However, if I use impatiently, it helps the reader imagine the situation more. Adverbs of frequency. Example, it is often claimed that pollution can be controlled purely by government measures. Here often shows that this is something that is being repeated. It is more frequent. Adverbs of frequency include words like always, usually, rarely, etc. Specific terminology and synonyms. Try to employ more synonyms in your writing in order to avoid repetition and make your writer more descriptive. Here you may use something we call a thesaurus. You may find it on certain websites or certain applications. Example, the new computer technician used lots of jargon. His very tuned choice of words made him seem exceptionally smart. The words jargon and choice of words have almost the same meaning, and this gives us a variety of description. Finally, step 7. Make sure your supporting points are appropriate and elaborative. What do we mean by this? Ask yourselves the following questions. Are my supporting points 1. Relevant and focused to the main idea? Are they related to the main idea? Are my points consistently focused on the one main idea of the paragraph? Don't write sentences that are not related. 2. Providing sufficient detail. Do we have enough details? Am I giving interesting, original information here? Do I need to add another point or sentence to strengthen my argument, to make my point clearer? Can I write more? 3. Vivid and descriptive. As we mentioned before, there are a lot of ways to do this. Can I use more adjectives, verbs, adverbs of frequency, or figurative language? That is what we mentioned before, as in describing the situation more with more imagery. 4. Well organized. Organization is always important. Could I have used emphatic or time order to organize my ideas? And as you know, organization could happen by using transitional words and connection words. Have I used sufficient and correct transitions to signal the start of my supporting details? As we saw in the example before, we used first, second, third, and we used, for example, we used to explain these transitions connect supporting details together. Thank you for listening.